Welcome back to Thunder Love. If you are bleeding Thunder Blue and Orange, you have found your home. This is the deep dive for the diehards, the true believers.
The ones who made it through the rebuild.
Exactly. The folks who are now living in what can only be described as absolute paradise. I'm your host, and today's deep dive is brought to you by our friends at bestinokc.com.
Great people over there.
Seriously, your one-stop shop for everything that makes our city incredible. Go check them out. But listen, we aren't talking about the best steakhouse today. We are talking about the best basketball team maybe ever.
That's a massive claim. But looking at the stack of data we have in front of us, it's a claim that the hard math actually supports.
Okay, I want to set the scene for everyone, just so we're all on the same page. It's February 14th, 2026. Happy Valentine's Day.
And our Valentine is this roster, I take it.
It is. We aren't just watching a good team, folks. We are watching the systematic dismantling of NBA history, a team that makes the record books look like, I don't know, a rough draft.
It really is an unprecedented moment. And I think the mission for us today is to try and contextualize what we're calling the statistical absurdity of this team.
Yeah.
We need to move past just the hype and explain why this current run makes even that legendary 73-win Warriors team look, well, mortal.
Let's unpack that immediately, because mortal is not a word I ever thought I'd hear next to the 2016 Warriors. Steph, Clay, Draymond. That team felt inevitable.
It did.
Well, let's start with the start of this season, because the way this year opened felt less like basketball and more like a glitch in the simulation.
It did feel like a glitch. Through the first 25 games of this season, the Thunder posted a record of 24-1.
24-1. I still have to, pinch myself when I say it. It sounds like a typo.
Right. But that number is so significant because it ties the 2015-16 Golden State Warriors for the best 25-game start in NBA history.
And think about the weight of that. That Warriors season, 73-win season, is viewed as it's untouchable.
It is. It's up there with DiMaggio's hitting streak or, Gretzky's 215 points. It's the mountaintop.
And we just casually matched their opening pace.
Casually matched.
And it wasn't just the wins, it was the streak. 16 wins in a row, a franchise record.
A franchise record.
And look, I love this team's history. We've had KD, we've had Russ, we've had Harden. We have had absolute first-ballot Hall of Famers wear this uniform. But none of those teams,
not even the finals team,
not even the 2012 finals team, put together a streak like this group. It just speaks to a different kind of dominance.
It does. I think the previous eras were defined by, superstar talent, sort of overcoming flaws. You could beat them. This group, led by SGA, is defined by a suffocating consistency. There are no bad nights.
You mentioned SGA, our reigning MVP, and we are absolutely going to get to him because his numbers are melting my brain. But before we get to the individuals, let's talk about how we're winning. Because 24-1 is one thing. You can win close games. You can get lucky. But the scoreboards...
Yeah.
The scoreboards are just embarrassing for the other teams.
This is where we get into what I call the blowout factory metrics. Let's look at point differential. If you remember last season, the championship run, the Thunder set a record with a point differential of plus 12.9.
Which broke a record that had stood for, 50 years, right? The Lakers and the Bucks from the early 70s?
Correct. The 72 Lakers and the 71 Bucks, those were considered these unstoppable forces. The Thunder beat that record last year, so the thinking was, okay, that's the peak.
Right. Regression is natural. The league catches up. You get a little bored, whatever.
Exactly. Regression is supposed to be inevitable. But here's the aha moment for this season. They didn't regress. They accelerated. They're beating their own record.
It's absolutely ludicrous.
Right now, the differential is sitting at plus 13.0. But if you look specifically at that 25-game opening stretch, it was a nightmare, plus 17.5.
Wait, pause on that. Plus 17.5. That's almost 20 points better than your opponent. Every single night.
Every single night.
That's not a basketball game. That's a varsity team scrimmaging the middle schoolers. You're ending the game by halftime.
It's annihilation. And that leads to one of my favorite stats because it just visualizes the dominance. 18% of the Thunder's total minutes this season have been played with a lead of at least 20 points.
So you're saying nearly 1/5 of our entire season is just garbage time?
Precisely.
I remember that Phoenix game during the Cup. We were up by 20, less than a minute into the second quarter. The second. People at the watch party were asking to change the channel because it was over.
And that has huge implications for player health, for longevity. You aren't grinding gears when your starters get to rest the entire second half.
Which brings us perfectly to the man himself, Shai. SGA.
Shai is putting together a season that is, it's just hard to comprehend, strictly by the numbers.
Every time I look at the box score, he has 30, but he's been sitting on the bench in a tracksuit for the whole fourth quarter. It feels like he's just punching the clock.
That's the story of his season. Let's look at efficiency. Right now, SGA is averaging 0.98 points per minute.
Okay, you threw that number at me before the show, 0.98. Break that down. Is that good? Great. I don't have a baseline for that.
It's not just good, it is the highest mark since Wilt Chamberlain in 1962.
Okay. Anytime you're in a sentence with Wilt Chamberlain.
You're doing something historic, but here's the nuance. In 62, Wilt averaged 50 points per game, but he played 48.5 minutes a game. He never sat down.
Right, he played every second, including overtimes.
Exactly. SGA is averaging about 33 points, but he's doing it in roughly 33 minutes of play.
So he's scoring a point a minute.
He's approaching Wilt's production efficiency, but he's doing it in 2/3 of the time because he sits out so many fourth quarters.
So if Shai played 48 minutes like Wilt, he'd be dropping 50 a night too.
Mathematically, yes, the rate is identical. And despite sitting out the fourth quarter in via this 12 of his first 24 games,
Half his games.
he still leads the league in total clutch points.
Wait, how is that even possible? That sounds like a contradiction.
Because when he does have to play in the fourth, he doesn't miss. He rests when it's a blowout, but when it's close, he's the best closer in the world.
It's robotic. He has 20-plus points in 97 straight games now, dating back to last year. And this year, 30-plus in nearly 80% of his game.
97 straight. That consistency is the anchor for the offense. But, and this is where it gets really interesting, as good as the offense is, the defense might be the bigger story.
I love this because usually offensive juggernauts sacrifice something on the other end, but this team is just scary defensively.
Scary is the word. I want to use the football analogy. Think about the 2000 Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, legendary defense. Ray Lewis. Basically unscorable. Won a Super Bowl without an offense.
Right. Now imagine you took that Ravens defense and you just dropped prime Aaron Rodgers onto the team as the quarterback.
That's unfair. That's illegal. You can't have both.
That is the 2026 Oklahoma City Thunder. You have arguably the best offensive player in the world paired with a defense that is, statistically, the best in NBA history.
The best in history. Better than the bad boy Pistons. Better than the 90s Bulls.
By the gap metrics, yes. The Thunder's defense is operating about 12 points better than the league average. That is the largest gap ever recorded.
12 points better.
Let me give you the specific numbers to let this marinate. Defensive rating is points per 100 possessions. The Thunder's is 103.6.
Okay, 103.6.
The second best team is the Houston Rockets. Their rating is 110.3.
So that's almost a 7-point gap. In the NBA, that feels like a lot.
It's massive.
Yeah.
And to show you how big it is, the gap between the Thunder at number 1 and the Rockets at number 2 is about the same size as the gap between the Rockets and the Milwaukee Bucks, who are ranked 22nd.
Wait, say that again?
The distance between first and second place is the same as the distance between second and 22nd. The Thunder aren't just first, they're in a different stratosphere.
That's mind-blowing. So there's the Thunder, a giant canyon, and then the rest of the league.
Correct. They're number 1 in opponent turnovers, number 1 in opponent field goal percentage, number 1 in points allowed. Suffocating.
And we have to remember, this isn't a team on the rise. We are the defending champs.
That's a crucial point.
Usually you win a ring, you party, you come back a little slow. The championship hangover.
It's a very real phenomenon. The physical and mental fatigue, the hunger drops off a little bit.
But the Thunder came back better. We won 68 games, beat Indiana in 7. SGA got MVP and Finals MVP. And they looked at that and said, not good enough.
And what makes this even more impressive is the adversity. This isn't a team that's been perfectly healthy.
Oh, absolutely not. J-Dub has been in and out of the lineup all year.
Jalen Williams and 7 other core rotation players have missed double-digit games. Most historic teams, those 73-win Warriors, the 96 Bulls, they have incredible injury luck. Their starters play 75 games together.
That's the terrifying part for the rest of the league. Imagine what happens when they're actually healthy. We're doing this with one hand tied behind our back.
It creates a what if. That's just unfair. If this is them injured, a fully healthy version might sweep their way to June.
So, big picture, we talked about 24-1, but you found a stat that spans back to last season that really paints the picture.
Yeah. If you zoom out and look at the last 82 regular season games the Thunder have played, their record is 72-10.
72-10, that sounds familiar.
It should. It's the best 82-game stretch in NBA history. Better than Jordan's Bulls, better than the Warriors, Over a full season's worth of games, they are winning at a clip we have never seen.
Which leads to the big question. The elephant in the room. Are we chasing 73? Can we break that record?
It's the ultimate question. Based on win percentage, they're technically on pace for about 78 wins.
78.
The math says 78. But we have to be realistic. There was that slump in January where they went 6-6.
A slump is 0.5 Hun zero ball. For us, that's a crisis.
And because of those losses, the margin for error is now razor thin. To tie the record, they need to go 43-2 the rest of the way.
Oof. 43-2. That's a tall order, even for this team. You basically can't lose again until April.
It is. But the fact we're even having this conversation in mid-February shows how dominant it's been.
And honestly, I don't know if they care about the record. Does Marc Daigneault care about 74 wins, or does he care about a second ring?
I think he cares about the ring.
Yeah.
And that's the verdict. Whether they break 73 wins or not, the statistical dominance, the point differential, that defensive gap, it already secures their place as maybe the most dominant team ever.
Amen to that. We are just witnessing greatness.
And if I can leave you with one final thought, something to really chew on that isn't just about this season,
Go for it.
look at the roster construction. We have 3 All-Stars under 28, a historic defense. And thanks to Sam Presti's wizardry, this team still has massive draft capital. Usually, to be this good, you have to mortgage your future.
We kept the picks. We still have a treasure chest.
Exactly. So we aren't just watching a great season, we might be watching a dynasty that breaks the concept of competitive balance for the next decade. This could be the status quo for the 2030s.
That is music to my ears and a horror movie soundtrack for the other 29 fan bases.
Absolutely. They're waiting for the fall, and the data suggests the climb hasn't even finished.
Well, I think that's the perfect place to wrap it up. We are living in the golden age of Thunder basketball, so soak it in, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in to Thunder Love.
It's been a pleasure.
Remember, our shows are live every week on YouTube and over at bestinokc.com. Go check it out. Until next time, Thunder up.